एक सक्सेसफुल पाथ अपने लिए चूज कर पाते हैं, राइट? योर ओन टैलेंट्स एंड योर ओन interest areas, your own business or your own product or your own app or whatever it is, or your agency, right? Whatever it is that you're either wanting to study or wanting to build, right? तो यार तू मचा देगा। मैंने कल ही एक नई चीज़ एक्सपीरियंस करी, ठीक है? और शायद जब मैं अपने स्कूल लाइफ में था, ठीक है, तो मैंने शायद उस टाइम भी वो चीज़ एक्सपीरियंस करी होगी, पर दिमाग से बात हट चुकी थी। पर कल मेरे को बहुत ही तगड़ा रिफ्रेशर मिला उस बात का। रिफ्रेशर ये था कि मुझे दोबारा से देखने को मिला कैसे यंगस्टर्स, कैसे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स अपने घर पे बहुत प्रेशर का सामना करते हैं, ठीक है? और वो प्रेशर सही है या गलत है, that is not the perspective that we'll discuss in this video. Okay, in fact, I just might bring to light my questions on this perspective, um, and then try to propose a solution, or try to propose what I see might help. सो पेरेंट्स डेफिनेटली चाहते हैं कि यार आप पढ़ो, ठीक है? और पेरेंट्स की जनरेशन अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस के हिसाब से, उनके जनरेशन के सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस के हिसाब से आपको एडवाइस देते हैं, आपको आइडिया देते हैं, आप पे इनफैक्ट प्रेशर भी बिल्ड करते हैं, राइट? कि नहीं यार, सिर्फ ऐसा ऐसा एक पाथ फॉलो करके ही आप एक सेफ जगह पे पहुंचोगे, राइट? और बहुत बार वो आपको सक्सेसफुल, मतलब ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो आपको ये चाहिए कि यार मेरा बच्चा सक्सेसफुल हो जाए और मेरा बच्चा 99 या 100 ही ले आए। बहुत पेरेंट्स बस इतना चाहते हैं मेरा बच्चा सेटल हो जाए। सेटलमेंट ही काफ़ी है उनके लिए, राइट? और वो उस अपना जो उनके दिमाग में होता है कि यार व्हाट इज़ द बेस्ट पाथ फॉर द किड टू गेट सेटल्ड, राइट? इन द लिमिटेशंस और in the limitations of their knowledge, right? They propose that those path to their kids, right? And definitely that comes off as pressure, because definitely the students and the youngsters and the kids, right, they are of today's age and generation, and they are residents of the internet, right? They now know, or they now have this perspective that why do I have to wait for so many years to, make something good out of myself, make something good out of my life, right? In fact, even maybe there are so many other youngsters who are going through the traditional way of education, right? And things are not working out for them. How do I depend on how do I place my bets on the system when I do see maybe 10 different avenues, um, content creation, um, maybe creating graphics and motion and motion videos and stuff like that, right? Working as a freelance for some client in the US, right? Or something, right? Just maybe internet based 1,000 gig roles that are available in today's economy, right? They have those options, right? And or at least those options are there in front of them, right? And they want to pursue them, right? They want to place their bets maybe on those options and on their talents and their own interest, right? And that is where I got refreshed. I got a refresher on the difference of opinion that exists between parents and kids, right? And the pressures that are there uh, in between, just because of this difference of opinion. And पेरेंट्स ने आपको बोलना है कि यार आप ऐसा ऐसा पाथ फॉलो करोगे तो आप सही चलोगे, राइट? और वो मुझे वो बात सही लगती है और मुझे वो बात गलत भी लगती है, ठीक है? बच्चा कहता है कि यार मैं अपने आप ही चार चीज़ें करूँगा, मैं ज़्यादा सेफली सेटल हो जाऊँगा, मैं ज़्यादा अपना इंटरेस्ट की चीज़ें फॉलो कर पाऊँगा। वो बात भी मुझे सही लगती है और मुझे वो बात गलत भी लगती है, ठीक है? क्योंकि दोनों ही चीज़ें डिपेंडेंट हैं टाइम पे, डिपेंडेंट है आपके एंड रिजल्ट पे, ठीक है? बहुत बच्चे हैं जो कॉलेज से बहुत बढ़िया पढ़ के बहुत बढ़िया अपनी लाइफ सेटल करते हैं। और लाइफ सेटल का क्या मतलब कि यार एक अच्छा, एक सेफ सिक्योर, एक सक्सेसफुल पाथ अपने लिए चूज कर पाते हैं, राइट? बहुत बच्चे हैं जो ये चीज़ नहीं कर पाते, राइट? जिनके लिए ये हो नहीं पाता, मे बी इज द बेटर वर्ड टू से इट, राइट? So the same path but different results, right? And that different result gives a different meaning to the advice in the first place, the advice being wrong or right, right? That let's follow college, right? And the same thing goes for, maybe starting up something of your own. Some kids make it and some kids do not, right? And again, the end defines and gives the outcome gives the meaning to the advice in the first place. Was it correct for the kid to follow this path or not? And that is why yesterday when I got a refresher of all this, when I was seeing the situation in front of myself, right? I was not able to give any advice to the kid. I was questioning myself, right? I was just really questioning myself कि यार क्या सही है क्या गलत है इसमें, मतलब इस चीज़ में क्या करना चाहिए, राइट? और मैं वहाँ से बिना ज़्यादा कुछ बात करे मैं वहाँ से चला आया, और मैंने शायद पूरी रात इस चीज़ पे कॉन्टम्पलेट करा है, पूरी रात इस चीज़ पे शायद मैंने कॉन्टम्पलेट करा है, मैंने इस बारे में सोचा है। एंड मे बी द बेस्ट एडवाइस दैट आई हैव बीन एबल टू कम अप विद, that I know is the only truest, most sincere advice that is independent of the outcome also, right? That is, it is a truth which, सच क्या होता है यार, ट्रू चीज़ें क्या होती है जो किसी चीज़ पे या टाइमलाइन पे या आउटकम्स पे डिपेंड ना करे. इट इज़ द ट्रूथ, राइट? इट डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन एनीथिंग एल्स, राइट? All other advices are maybe opinions, biases, perspectives, right? Because they're depending on something else, right? Maybe on the outcome, maybe on the time frame, maybe on life situations, right? Maybe on somebody else, right? It's just they have depending factors, right? And what, when something is dependent on something else, right? They are, that individual thing is not the truth. It is, as I said, it is a perspective then in that case, or an opinion or a bias or something else, right? Or maybe just worry and concern, right? But not the truth. So the truest advice that I was able to really, after just maybe a night of contemplation, I was able to get to, was that you give your 100%. Don't, there was an advice that was given, split it, give it 50-50, okay? Or give your education 60 and your own talents and your own interest areas 40, right? Or maybe so do a 50-50 or a 60-40 or a 40-60, right? And I think that's not the right advice. That most definitely is not the right advice. That's a different way of saying ki yaar, we believe in one path, and the other path, while we are giving it maybe 40 or 30 kind of attention, it's just secondary, and we want that to be dropped out, right? So just follow the first path, the primary path itself, right? I think what might really come to help is just deciding, yeah, one of the paths, not splitting your time or not giving it 60-40 or something like that, right? Not coming under the influence of these false advices. Just think about one thing that you would want to do, okay? And that could be studies, that could be your own business or your own product or your own app or whatever it is, or your agency, right? Whatever it is that you're either wanting to study or wanting to build, right? But just pick one thing and give it your 100%. और अगर आप 100% दोगे, यार आप मचा दोगे. 100% दोगे तो यार तू मचा देगा, ठीक है? मतलब कोई फ़र्क नहीं आएगा कि तुम इस लेवल के सक्सेस पे पहुँचे या इस लेवल के सक्सेस पे पहुँचे, या एकेडमिक्स तुमने अगर 100% देना चूज़ करा था तो तुम्हारे 90, 92, 95 आए. तुमने अगर अपना एक ऐप या प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड करना चूज़ करा था तो उसका क्या लेवल ऑफ सक्सेस, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा. बट इफ़ यू आर गिविंग योर 100%, you'd not regret choosing that path. That's all, buddy. I think life is hard, but that's the one really truest advice that I would want to leave you guys with. Um, and for anybody, for any youngster who's really struggling with this thing at their home or this thing in their life, right? Maybe because of something else, also, right? That some difference of opinion is causing great deal of confusion and great deal of pressure in their life. uh, I think just choose one path of your own liking, whichever path gives you the most joy, and just give it your 100%. Nothing else is something that you have to think about or worry about. Yeah.